with Zach, the co-host.
That's me.
Co-host with the most, Zach Snyder. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, Tony?
I'm great, man. You having a good day?
Yeah, of course.
You had some good wings yesterday?
From Johnny V's, yep.
Yeah, man,
Yep.
what a great day. That was what you described as the best day ever.
Ever, yep.
Right? Well, I'm excited about our show today. I'm excited about our guests, but I first want to do our, we just introduced last week our new segment called Trending on Twitter.
Trending on Twitter, that's
so
right.
find out. Let's talk about what is trending on Twitter.
Let me find
I think
Twitter.
I have an idea. But let's see. What was going on last night? Well, we watched the presidential debates last night, right?
Yep.
The Democratic.
So Elizabeth Warren is trending for Warren for the win. # finish him.
She was brutal last night.
She was going after some people,
She was savage. And so was Mayor Pete.
Mayor Pete.
But so we watched the whole thing last night.
Yeah.
What was up with all the raising of hands?
Yeah, I've never seen that in a debate.
I felt like I was in a
ever.
kindergarten classroom. Literally all
Can
of them.
I talk now? Can I talk now?
It was like everybody. And poor
Yeah, it was-
Bernie, his shoulder looked
very
sore
interesting.
from lifting his arm up so much. He couldn't go much past his head.
Poor Bernie.
But man, every 10 seconds, hand raise. Is that new? I mean, do people normally raise their hand in a debate?
Apparently that's just a Democratic debate thing.
Just started?
Yeah, it just
Yeah,
started
because
this year.
I've watched a lot of debates, and I don't ever remember hands
Yeah.
raising. But it literally, because they're supposed to get a specific amount of time,
Right, yeah.
a minute to answer your question, and then they give a 30-second rebuttal.
But last night was a mess, yeah.
The moderators did not do a good job.
No.
They just kept letting them raise, and then they would call on them, and then they'd be talking over each other.
Yeah,
But
there's
if you-
certain trends. They're raising hands and doing all. Yeah, I don't know.
It's hard. It's hard for me to watch Joe Biden without thinking of Jason Sudeikis.
Jason Sudeikis. That smile, yeah.
All I can think of, Jason Sudeikis will get that voice going, and then he just smiles and points. And every time Joe Biden was just angrily, he was just pointing at the camera. I was like, "Are you talking to me?"
Right, yeah.
He was looking into my soul. But
Yeah, Joe Biden was not asleep last night. That's for sure.
he was not Sleepy
Sleepy
Joe.
Joe
last
was
night.
Angry Joe.
he was not Sloppy Joe
Yeah.
or Sleepy
He
Joe.
was-
He was Angry Joe. And then you can't help but think of Trump. Trump's out of control. He gives all these people a nickname: Sleepy Joe, Crazy Bernie, Tiny Mike,
Yeah.
Mini Mike,
Can you make?
Pocahontas. He calls Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah.
She was going for the throat last night.
She was going after Mike Bloomberg, who
Yeah,
was
they all were.
first time on the stage. Yeah,
They were all going for Bloomberg, and then Mayor Pete, in his little short
Yeah.
little way, was just going after
What
everybody.
were your thoughts on Mike Bloomberg the first time in the debate?
He just seems so low energy.
Yeah,
I would have
exactly.
thought. I mean, he said some decent things, but he just never seemed excited.
Right, yeah.
It just, I don't know. He didn't defend himself well. He actually dug his
There's no way
hole.
to enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is the way.
Chuck Dodge.
And Mike Bloomberg did not have enthusiasm last night.
No, he
so.
didn't. He didn't sell me on anything.
Yeah.
He didn't yell it into the camera like
Joe
Sleepy
Biden.
Joe or Crazy Bernie.
Yeah.
No, it was. We don't normally get political on the podcast, but the debates
going
were last
after it
night.
today.
The debates were last night. It was pretty funny, and
Yeah.
then they were talking about fracking a lot. And I don't know if I'm, should probably know what fracking means. I kind of felt stupid that I didn't know what fracking.
I didn't know what the frack was going on.
I felt like a
last night.
fracking idiot. What is fracking? Can you look that up for us?
Yeah, I have no idea.
They were talking about. It has something to do
It has
with
something to do
oil.
with rocks or oil maybe.
We didn't get it.
Fracking.
So they brought up fracking a lot.
Erosion.
They spent an entire segment talking about
fracking.
fracking.
The process of injecting liquid at high pressure into subterranean rocks. So rocks,
So it's drilling.
bare holes. Yep. Has to force open existing fissures and extract oil or gas.
Wow.
So they're extracting oil or gas from rocks.
Interesting. That is fracking interesting.
Should we be fracking or not? I don't know.
So, I mean, why did they say drilling? I
Yeah.
feel like more people would know. I feel like they use things like that so that people just, they don't know
Yeah.
if they should agree
What
with
was
it
the
or
other
disagree
one?
with it.
There's one more thing they kept talking about last night. Let's see if it was in my recent searches. Oh, stop and frisk.
Stop and frisk. That was Mike Bloomberg's policy where
Yeah, you know what that is?
yeah, basically they had a policy that there were so many. They felt like they had a big issue with gun violence in New York, so they
New York
decided
City, yeah.
they basically made a policy that minorities would be stopped, and whenever they stopped a minority, they would frisk them before they really. I mean, didn't matter.
wow.
And I don't think it was just meant for minorities. I think it was supposed to be for everybody, but it happened to a lot of minorities. So
Gotcha.
they kind of spun it as a racist.
Okay,
And it really
yeah.
kind of turned out to look like a racist thing. I don't know
Yeah.
if I have an opinion on it, but I think that's what it is.
Gotcha.
So, anyways, we sound really dumb right now. We should know more about this stuff. But the only other thing that really stuck out to me was hilarious was the Mexican
President's
the lady
name,
from
yeah.
Telemundo wanted to know if
What's the girl on the end? Yeah, I forget her name.
It's horrible.
We're fracking morons.
None of the candidates really impressed me that
Yeah.
much. It literally seemed like a competition to see who could destroy prosperity or Trump.
Right,
yeah, they
yeah.
talked about. I wanted to count how many times they talked about Trump. I mean,
Yeah, it
literally.
was basically like they were trying to not prove themselves, but disprove Trump.
Yeah. And
It's
I would
like-
like to know, tell us what you.
Right.
And even when they would start to talk about their thing, it would always go back to how we have to just get Trump out of office.
Yeah.
And no, but they asked the lady on the end, who looked very angry and nervous the whole night.
I'm trying to find her name here.
I have it right here on
Okay.
my phone.
She did look a little scared. Yeah,
She looks scared. Her name is Amy Klobuchar.
Klobuchar. Yep.
But they kept. They asked her because she's part of the. She's on the committee for the immigration, and they asked her what is the president's name of Mexico,
And they asked her before a couple days ago, and she didn't
and,
know. Yeah.
And then she started reciting, and she kept looking down, like
she
she
looked
had
down at his name.
several times, and she goes, "And I also know this guy." And she looked down, and
I know his name.
and I know how
It's
many people are in this
Pedro.
committee, and,
Yeah.
and then it turned into 15 minutes of them just discussing about who
Yeah.
knew what about Mexico, and it's
Yeah, I know it.
this isn't even.
Nobody really cares at the end of the day.
Most of the American people don't know the name of those people, and maybe she should know it, but why is that
Or care,
even
right.
coming up on the debate stage? I would think
And they spend a lot of time on it too.
I want to know the policies, what they stand for, why they believe what they believe, and
Yeah.
it just seemed like a lot of fighting. And of course, most debates are like that. I've often wondered this. I usually watch, when they finally decide who the Democratic candidate is and the Republican candidate. I feel like most people go into the debates already knowing who they're gonna be for, and I don't think debates really change anybody's mind.
Yeah, it's just good TV. It's a setup for SNL on Saturday.
Yeah, we are super
That's all it
excited.
is.
We are super excited.
Yeah, for this Saturday.
To see Kate McKinnon as Elizabeth Warren,
Jason
to see
Sudeikis.
Jason Sudeikis as Sleepy Joe, not Larry Sanders, that's Bernie Sanders, Larry David as Bernie Sanders.
Larry David, yeah.
These guys, the best time to watch SNL is during presidential
Yeah,
season. Of
yeah.
course, Alec Baldwin does a hilarious Trump.
Yeah.
So it should be pretty funny this week to watch.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
So I think that'll be more entertaining than the actual debate was. But whether you watched it or not, it was entertaining. That's why it's trending on Twitter. Go check it out. But that's kind of our opinion.
That's the scoop.
And that's trending on Twitter.